We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with you two.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get 60 after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage, and enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. It is, of course, Tuesday, February 24th. We just had the Go Home Monday Night Raw before the Elimination Chamber. And we're going to break it down. I've got a sweet crew hanging with me. First and foremost, I'm actually going to send this one all the way across the pond because I haven't seen him in forever. In some circles, he's known as Mickey's best pal, but in this circle, the man known as Jordy in the Bank. We're so back, dude. How back are we?
We are so back. I've got the briefcase and everything. This has been hiding the past couple of shows. It's been hiding out the back, but there's a place right here on the desk for it. Jordy, I might need to redo it. It's looking a bit worse for wearing it. It wasn't the best in the first place, really, was it? It was just a bit of tape and some pen, but
I thought it was beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. We'll look into it. We'll maybe get a custom job done. But I'm great to be back on the show with you, mate. Yeah, let's talk about Raw.
Absolutely. I'm fired up to talk about Raw. But before we do, I've got one more guy to introduce because I'm stoked. We've gotten to do more shows lately than I ever expected, and it's been a blast every single time. We got my good friend Lawrence. How are you doing?
Man, what's going on, man? I'm excited, man. I was actually in the building for Monday Night Raw last night, so I'm excited to be on this show to break this thing down. Man, let's get into it.
Let's do it. No doubt. We've got a lot of fun topics here today. Before we do, though, we've got some comments out of the gates. Of course, happy Tuesday, WR Crew from Fernando Zayas. Happy Tuesday, Fernando. We got hello from Numero One Superfly. What's going on, Numero One? What's up, WR Faithful from Des P04? And if you flip the two numbers in his username, that's how many inches of snow. He's sitting in Massachusetts right now, so I'm glad you can hang with us right now because I know you don't have much going on. Also, a monster shout out my mom. Love you, mama. No doubt about it. But let's get right into this, guys, because we've got some fun ones here. Let's talk about Brock and let's talk about this open challenge. He'll face anybody at Mania. This is very Brockish. What I'm really happy about coming out of this, I'm gonna, be selfish here for a second, guys, if you don't mind. I'm super glad it wasn't Brock in the box. That would have bugged me. I was terrified that was gonna be they're shipping Brock Lesnar in a wooden box around. Like, don't do that. People floated that on the IWC. It was funny while it lasted, but thankfully it is just an open challenge here. I've got a few questions. Lawrence, I'm going to start with you. How did you feel about the delivery of it? And who do you anticipate this opponent being?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the advocate for the reigning. I just wanted to say that. Shout out to Paul Heyman. He did a great job last night, as he always does. But I thought that the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge, if I'm being honest, was a complete waste of time. And the reason why I think it was a complete waste of time, Brock shows up. I guess him and Roman are going to have a similar schedule, a couple less dates. But it looks like Brock is going to show up each week, and we'll see who comes out. I think a couple of the next times we see him, somebody will come out and they'll just get F5'd and he'll walk out of the ring and say, not you. And then the final time that he's to show up before they want to book the match, I think it's going to end up being Oba Femi. And it's lining up perfectly because Oba is about to go head to head with Rusev. We seen that last night, the backstage interaction, right? So Oba Femi's going to continue to run through guys. And then next thing you know, it'll end up being Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I absolutely love that idea, no doubt about it. Jordy, though, are you in agreement? How do you feel about the open challenge? Do you see any other challengers besides Oba? And I mean, we can't go without mentioning that Rumble moment between the two. So Lawrence, I think, is onto something here. Does having Obafemi answer that challenge all the way at Mania make sense, or does he answer it on the way there if it is Oba, in fact?
I'm very much in agreement with Lawrence, and I think it says a lot if you were there and you still think this. I just do think it's a little bit of a waste of time. I think we're trying. Obviously, we're not blessed with injuries right now, and I feel like I don't know if this was always the plan. Is what I'm going to say. Yeah, he is. He's probably going to come out at a few appearances, F5 a few people. I completely agree. Kit Wilson's probably the first person on the list. He's probably going to come down and call him toxic, and he's going to get F5'd. What would be funny, and I would like to see, is if Obafemi actually just comes to Kit Wilson's aid and saves him. That would make me laugh. But I agree. I think it's over. I can't really see it being anyone else. I know obviously Gunther and Oba are the two that people want to see. I do disagree with Paul Heyman's comment about every WrestleMania since he's like whoever Brock Lesnar's facing is the main event. I don't know. Not for me. Not for me. That's all I'm going to say, really. I don't think I've been massively impressed by a singles Brock Lesnar match for a minute now. I want to say the Cody feud was the last time I was really impressed with a Brock Lesnar singles match, and credit to, I think, Cody on that one. Brock didn't really impress me in the Rumble. He did a couple of things like German suplexes with people right behind him. He should have better awareness than that at this stage. He is a veteran. He called for the elimination during Jay's entrance. That's not that. So I'm not 100% sold that Brock Lesnar is going to put on a main event level match, whoever he's against. I hope it's against Oba, and I hope Oba goes over, but I don't know if that will happen with Brock's retirement in the near future. Who knows? We'll see. You're on mute, Clark.
I was about to say the same thing when it comes to Brock calling for the elimination. That's just, I mean, it honestly tickled me seeing the clip, because it's like he genuinely hears the music hit and he's like, you know what? That's enough for me. Like, they wrote the check already. I'll see you guys later. Like, it's like, hey, get me out of here. Like, it wasn't even, it didn't. We've seen so many called spots these days with cameras and ringside video on phones and even just microphones picking it up. It was sort of unavoidable even during COVID, right? We've seen a lot of called spots. John Cena, and no knock on him, but right, we've seen it, right? Just like people yelling.
You can't talk about cold spots without bringing up John Cena.
Yeah,
and
I'm not even knocking him on that. It's just like you can hear it.
Yeah.
But the funny part to me about the Brock one was that literally looked like on the fly, like, yeah, I think I'm done. I'm good with this. Like, it was, I don't know if that was even the original plan. It was like, hey, get me out of here.
He went up to Cody, like, he knew that, like, Cody makes sense. Cody can get away with eliminating him, and LA Knight joined in, like, but yeah, still, that's questionable in terms of just entertainment awareness, right? But the safety awareness thing of hitting a German suplex with people kind of behind him and stuff like that, like, like I say, I might be wrong. And if I'm proved wrong, I'm proved wrong, but I just don't believe that. I think Paul Heyman is flogging a dead horse a little bit. I don't think Brock can put on that level of performance that he maybe put on that, like, Roman and Brock level. That was
right.
unreal.
But so, Jordy, I'm not even trying to argue with you on some of the German spots, but I will say they played the men's and women's Rumble on ESPN actually last night, following the University of Kansas game. So I rewatched both, and upon second watch, I think I actually enjoyed them more the first time. and that usually is the case, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when it came to the Brock spots, I agree. There were 3 German suplex that were, I would call them suspect, right? Of the 3, there was one where, and Logan Paul, I think, was excellent in this match, but he was laying and selling in the middle of the ring for significantly longer than he needed to be, and Brock sort of knocked him out of the way, and he ended up being the next German. And I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication in general, but like Brock did adjust in the air when he realized that Logan was behind him to avoid throwing, I forget who it was, but on top of Logan. And so I was like, I would say 2 out of 3 were egregiously bad, to your point.
Yeah.
But one of them, I would give him the benefit of the doubt on, like, he was out there trying, for lack of a better way to put it. Now, let's circle back to this Mania part of this, because Obafemi, obviously, the 3 of us, I think, are in agreement on that. That's sort of a no-brainer at the end of the day, especially with the open challenge aspect. Gunther versus Brock outside of a retirement scenario makes no sense to me. Right? I don't understand that. So I would rule that one out. Now, along the way, you mentioned something, Jordy, that I found really interesting. I would love to have a Kit Wilson answer the challenge to Brock next week if Brock's going to be there and get F5'd. That'd be hysterical. That's comedy. That's great entertainment. And then even on top of that, I might add in you could do an R-Truth answering the challenge and thinking it's for the United States title or something, right? Yeah. There's a lot of comedy at play here. Outside of Obafemi, though, what if Braun Breaker was healthy in time? Because that would be wild. If it was Femi, I think, deserves it, and they set it up in the Rumble. But if Braun Breaker comes out and breaks him in half with a spear, I don't know. That's equally as electric, but I guess maybe I'm begging for a quicker recovery. I don't know. What do you guys think of that, Lawrence? Is there any secondary candidate besides Femi that makes sense?
Nah, I just think Oba just makes a ton of sense. Like Gunther makes sense if you're going to do the retirement match. But if you're just going to do Gunther versus Brock, it doesn't really make sense with no career on the line. And yeah, it just doesn't really make sense. Now, the Oba versus Brock for the WrestleMania match, obviously that'd be Oba's first WrestleMania. If, truly, Brock I think we've all discussed it here on the show. We said Brock Lesnar is going to retire in his hometown, right, in Minneapolis at SummerSlam this year. Yeah. Right. So that if they want to do the Gunther Brock there, if Gunther's the guy to retire him, right? If that's your guy who's going to retire him, cool. But yeah, I just think you got to take the Oba match right now for Brock. I mean, it's a match that you're struggling to sell tickets. What do I always say? You got to book the right matches to sell tickets. And right now you're struggling to sell tickets. This is a match that could help you out a little bit.
So that's an interesting one. So I'm going to follow this up because I'm going to ask Jordy this too, and then we'll finish out the segment. But so you would rather them book this one where Oba accepts the challenge before the night of. It's not like Joe Hendry and Randy Orton last year. No, it's like he accepts it like the week before on Monday or something like that, so that we're aware of the match already happening. That makes
I would like, because Brock is booked for Madison Square Garden on March the 30th. I would like for Oba to accept the challenge then, and them have, because I think Brock is booked. I think it's for this. I think I saw Houston, which is April 6th. I would like to see Brock and Oba have a little bit of, like a contract signing for their match. You know what I mean? Like I like them to really like sell it, for real. Don't just give it to us. Give it to us maybe 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance. If you don't, cool. If they give it to us 1 week in advance, cool. But give it to us before WrestleMania. Don't have it be a Joe Hendry. But obviously, it has to be Oba. But on the lead up, you have to make sure you're giving us, you brought up good examples, the guys that we know he's not facing, the Kit Wilsons, the R-Truths, right? To make it entertaining. That's why he has so many dates.
I love that. I love that. Jordy, before we go to the next subject, just really quickly, do you have anyone else in mind potentially besides Elba Femi?
No, I think I would rather buy a ticket to take Brock
Respect.
out of the equation and have Gunther versus Oba, but that's just me. But that's not how WWE work. They think that Brock will sell more tickets, so I understand that, and I think Oba, I agree, is the obvious choice. Gunther versus Brock interests me because of Brock's angle right now, and the character that he's being is the classic heel Brock. I don't know who we cheer in a Gunther versus Brock scenario right now, so I don't know. Does Oba go over against Brock at WrestleMania, and then Brock comes back as more of a face and kind of picks a fight with Gunther and then retire? I don't know. It's all strange. I just can't imagine a scenario right now where somebody cheers Gunther or Brock. So
it's a good point. It's difficult. I'll give one more name myself. Javon Evans. That's the only other person I could see accepting this and putting on if you really wanted to see a great Brock Lesnar bell-to-bell match, Javon could carry that. I absolutely believe athletically, because Brock's had a lot of great matches against the smaller, more athletic finesse type guy. You think AJ Styles, you think CM Punk back in the day when he was a little bit faster. And then you think Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. Obviously, there's a lot of those matches with Brock were great. Kurt Angle arguably was the finesse versus strength type thing. They had great back and forths. I'm not saying Oba can't handle it, but Javon Evans versus Brock is pretty intriguing too. That's the only other one I would add to this.
I think that might be one of the matches along the way. I think that he might answer one of the calls, but I don't think it'll be the Ultimate Mania match.
That's fair, Jordy. I think that's totally fair. Now, let's move on to a really, really Yeet-centric segment here, basically. So, we've got El Grande Americano Original, a.k.a. allegedly Chad Gable. Allegedly, okay? We don't know yet. Nobody knows, in fact. Jey Uso and Bronson Reed. First and foremost, I want to apologize because on the Wrestling Relic podcast a few weeks back, I said the Vision is one injury away from just the whole group being ruined. And I don't know. I really hope that Bronson Reed isn't hurt because I was not wishing for that. I was hoping for good health for the Vision headed into WrestleMania. It did not look good. He was escorted to the back and everything. And Jey Uso does pick up the victory to qualify for the Chamber at the end of the day. Jordy, I got to get your thoughts. This was kind of funky with the injury in the middle of the match. Did you feel, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's never nice, is it? Like seeing somebody get injured literally during a match, especially when it's a triple threat, because they just obviously have to carry on. Probably have to call the finish on the fly because quite a lot of the time, pretty much 99% of the time in a triple threat, you have a finish that involves three people. It's somebody hits a finisher and then rolls them out. You know what I mean? It's always like you always incorporate the three people in the finish. So it's never great. It is what it is. I hope Bronson recovers well. I think he's been unfortunate with injury. I genuinely do. I think the last time he got injured, or one of the last times he got injured, he was jumping off the top of the War Games cell, and you know what I mean. It is unfortunate. He'll come back stronger, I hope. It is worrying about the Vision. I don't think the finish was going to be any different in terms of the result. I do believe that Jey Uso was going to be in that chamber regardless, because he'll probably have a yeeting moment on top of one of the pods. Yeah, I don't think it's changed the finish. I'm excited for the chamber. It's quite a rogue lineup this year, but I think I think a lot of people in there maybe have something to prove, and I think that they're going to put on a very solid chamber match. Yeah, would I rather have seen Bronson Reed in there? Would I rather have seen El Grande in there? I don't think so. They're all phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but I understand, like Lawrence, our friend, obviously says you need to sell tickets and you need Jey Uso on that card if you want to do that, I think, in 2026.
I agree 100%. And it's funny because DCX Warlord, friend of the show, Monster Shoutout, said no, Bronson was scheduled to win. I actually am in agreement with you, Jordy. I think that Jay was the planned winner. I actually think Bronson wasn't going to be involved in the finish virtually no matter what. But I think that's the reason that Americano was in there. If that makes any sense, right? Like that was the plan from the get-go. I do think the injury might be a problem, though, for the Vision headed into Mania. I just don't know what you do now. People are dropping like flies, and it wasn't even the Masked Man this time. Like, and that just scares me to death for the storyline. Lawrence, do you have anything to add really quick before we go to the next little break here?
Yeah, ultimately what I'll say is we did not see, particularly I did not see Bronson Reed winning that match. I thought that the Masked Man was coming out to deliver a curb stomp to him, and that would have stopped him in his tracks. Unfortunately, his biceps stopped him in his tracks, and obviously nothing that we wanted to see. Hopefully Bronson Reed recovers well here within these next 4 to 6 months, but, the Vision is canceled. I mean, now Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, now Bronson Reed, like none of these guys available for WrestleMania. Braun Breaker, he might as well stay on the shelf. Seth Rollins, stay on the shelf. It's over with. So
yeah,
just my thoughts.
That's kind of where I'm at too, and it makes me
Just
sad.
recover and get well. Like
yeah,
no need to rush back and hurt yourself again. You know what I mean?
100%. And we've got Bobby Petito in the comments here with hello, Clark, Jordy, and Lawrence. What's going on, Bobby? Good to have you as
Bobby.
always, my friend. But before we move on to our next topic, we've got a little bit of a message from the big boss man. And I'm not talking about the wrestler. I'm talking about Ben Allison. Check this one out. He's got some news on the future launch of our content. I'm not even sure. Just listen to the message.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching today's episode of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. Just a quick announcement from me, essentially. Firstly, thank you guys for supporting Wrestling Republic. It really is appreciated. You guys are our most loyal viewers, and that's why I'm doing this announcement right now on this live directly to you guys. Because honestly, I want to apologize to you all. Because over the last few months, to me, it's felt like the YouTube channel has been way too inconsistent. And what I mean by that isn't in uploads. We've been dead consistent with that. But we've been constantly changing our plans and what we are doing. And I just want to quickly give some transparency as to why. Essentially, I've been putting in at least 5 hours every day to this YouTube channel over the last year, and although the subscribers have gone up and the shorts views have gone up, the actual views in terms of daily uploads really hasn't, and that's kind of an issue, of course, for us. And after listening to feedback from you guys and also listening to feedback from YouTube themselves, I've decided that we are going to change our upload schedule. Not of the daily broadcast that's going to stay live every single day, no changes there, but to our daily upload schedule, because now Monday is going to be the weekly podcast as it's been for the last 25 weeks, but then Wednesday is going to be an upload and Friday is going to be an upload as well. And both of these videos will have a higher production value, more editing throughout, right? So they feel higher value essentially for you guys. Hopefully you will enjoy them more, like the Cruiserweight video I did this past week. But the reason that things keep changing is honestly we're in a state where we are just trying to experiment different things, and a lot hasn't been working, and we've given stuff time and we haven't seen growth at all in terms of views. So yeah, that's essentially why there keeps being a change. But I did want to apologize to you guys and thank you once again for supporting our content here at Wrestling Republic. You guys coming in every day, it means the world to us, and we will keep working hard and creating the best content possible for you guys. And hopefully these Wednesday and Friday videos, hopefully they are the best quality stuff we have done yet as well, to go alongside these live daily videos every single day. Thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of the daily broadcast.
Yeah, what he said. And yeah, let's move on though. We got Raquel Rodriguez qualifying for the Elimination Chamber match in my hometown of Chicago. And I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm fired up. I am going. I'm going. Gonna be there. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be cold. Maybe not in the United Center. I'm assuming they've got heat. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out, upon entrance into that venue. But I've had some really really fun times in the United Center. Ask the Chicago Blackhawks and the Chicago Bulls about that if you grew up in Chicago. It's a great venue. Either way, we've got Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Rocky Rodriguez in a qualification match for the Elimination Chamber. Raquel wins via that power bomb, which is one of my favorite finishing moves in all of wrestling. This is the route we need to take because she has to be in the same match as Liv Morgan. This is Big Mommy Cool and Shawn Michaels and Liv Morgan in this one. It's shout out to the Diesel in HBK, Two Dudes with Attitudes era, where actually Diesel, the one you would assume would be the bad guy, is the good guy this time. I've got a good feeling she might even win the chamber too. Lawrence, how did you feel about last night? And do you think she's got a shot?
What's that song? No chance. Dun, 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 dun. No chance. She's got no chance, my guy. Now, I like Raquel. Listen, I really like her a lot, but she's got no chance. There's only one woman that I see leaving that chamber with a victory on Saturday, and that woman is Rhea Bloody Ripley. I've been saying it. Obviously, Io Sky last night, she did not get the job done, so she's not going to be in the chamber match. I know people have said, obviously, we know they hold the tag titles. I think easily they could drop those tag titles before WrestleMania back to Charlotte and Alexa. And I think that it could set up easily. When you're looking for a talent to face Jade, the Alexa, like you have to go through the list, like what sells, right? When I'm taking a look, Alexa versus Jade, that doesn't sell. When I'm taking a look at Raquel versus Jade, I'm not interested in seeing it. There's a match, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade. I've already seen it numerous of times, back and forth. I'm not interested in seeing it again right now. So I want to see Rhea Bloody Ripley versus Jade Cargill. That's how you book it in Las Vegas, man. That's how you sell tickets. That's an immediate boost, right? To ticket sales, an immediate boost. Women, Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley going one-on-one at WrestleMania. I mean, that would be beautiful.
I absolutely adore the idea. If that's the route you're going to go with Rhea. I don't know at this point. I mean, and we've got some comments here. Like we've got Raquel Rodriguez is the favorite from Chris Leclerc. And we don't necessarily look at Vegas odds, but hey, and Bobby Petito's rooting for Raquel to win. Raquel is winning and choosing Stephanie, Bryan Danielson style from 2021. I hear you though on Rhea Ripley's the bigger name. Here's my thing. I still think then we end up with Raquel, no matter what, even if the scenario you just presented played out, Lawrence. I still think we have to end up with Raquel and Liv and Stephanie Vaquer.
But
if Vaquer is going to carry the title that long,
how do you think that we're going to get to Raquel getting added into the match though? Like what's the thought process of the Daniel Bryan? Because the Daniel Bryan situation was much different,
truthfully,
right? Daniel Bryan got screwed out of the chamber match. That was the last one that Randy won. But also Daniel Bryan earned his way by beating Triple H, right? So what's the process of that?
I think it's going to be an instant replay to Shawn Michaels' first Royal Rumble win when Diesel went, wait, actually, I'm a bigger deal. And that's how it ends up being. But we do it the right way this time where it's a triple threat with Vaquer involved. Jordy, I want to get your thoughts on this because I can see you sitting there with the wheels spinning. Do you have feelings as far as who it's going to be when it comes to winning chamber? I think it's Raquel. Lawrence, I like the call on Rhea Ripley, no doubt about it. Do you have a different pick? Do you have the same pick? What are you feeling?
I think if we're selling tickets, yeah, it's Rhea Ripley. But then what do you do with the tag team titles? I'm kind of hoping, and I've been hoping for a long time, that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky end up in a TLC triple threat tag match at WrestleMania, just because I want to see that match and I want to see them do it. I love obviously the original TLC matches. I think that you've got some teams within the women's tag division now that could deliver an incredible TLC match. So I would love to see that. However, with the ticket sales being how they are and stuff like that, do you just want Rhea Ripley in a title match? Quite possibly. So of them all, yeah, I would probably say that Rhea is the favorite. I would love to see Alexa Bliss. Like I would absolutely love that for Alexa, but I just don't see it happening. I'm with Lawrence. The only one I can really see is Rhea. I think they could maybe do Raquel, but I think that if they did that, she would try and force her way into Liv's match. I think people would see that payoff, don't they?
I would actually enjoy, and I think then you can figure out the Jade match on the other side. I don't know.
Bianca.
We could probably. That's what I was about to say. I was about to say a healthy Bianca or even Naomi.
Yeah.
A returning Naomi would be so fun.
Yeah, but Naomi can't come back. She ain't even dropped that baby yet.
No, I know.
Jade Cargill's.
I was thinking alternate universes here. You know what I mean? Right?
For the sake of Jade and for the sake of Jade's title run, she needs to have a great match.
If we were playing WWE 2K26, shout out, sponsor us. But
I agree with what Jordy said. It'd be the last thing I say is like Jade needs a great match, and that match between her and Rhea would, regardless of the winner, you don't even have to put Rhea over. It would be a great match.
To your point, it's also unstoppable force and movable object, which is always not easy to book, but right, like it's easy to tell that story.
Yeah.
Let's talk about AJ Styles. This was goofier than a football bat to me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, okay, so AJ Styles retires weirdly against Gunther in the middle of a Royal Rumble. Between two Rumble matches, takes his gloves off, puts them back on, the whole nine, walks away. Then we come back like a month later. Like a lot of things have happened since. And AJ deserved this in Atlanta. And all of his friends there and everybody in the ring, I thought it was beautiful. It was an awesome ceremony. Timing was bizarre. The timing of this is odd. I didn't get why now. And then this is another thing. And I'm going to now sound like sour grapes or like I'm complaining about something that was actually fun and positive. I do want to be clear. I did enjoy some of this. But why is it that if just they play the Undertaker music and he comes out and says something nice to you, it's like the biggest rub ever? Now, like, that's the whole thing. Like, oh, yeah, like, to me, it was like the Undertaker aspect was a bigger deal than AJ Styles. Like, they told us AJ was going to be there. Then they play the gong and everyone gets excited about Taker. And next thing you know, he's like, you're a Hall of Famer, and they're hugging. And it's way more about Undertaker than it is AJ Styles, who's actually going to be inducted. It felt like there was, I might be the only one that felt that way. But when upon first watch, I was just like, what are we doing here? I don't know. Jordy, I'm going to start with you on this, man. What did you think? Congratulations to AJ Styles, though. I got to say that, obviously. Deserved, beyond deserved. But the segment was just like awkward to me, at least.
No, I don't. It didn't feel awkward to me. It felt. I understand why they did it, and I tell you what, I didn't necessarily like is like Undertaker shouldn't be teasing us by saying we've got unfinished business, because like I think everyone just instantly, including AJ, he saw it in his face. He was like, what are you saying that we need to, like, we run it back? Like, so he teased us with that. And I'm not saying I want to see the Undertaker have a match, but like, I always, as good as the Boneyard match was, I just would love to see them throw down in the ring. So for a little second there, I was like, oh boy, what's about to happen? I don't necessarily dislike that the Undertaker seems to be the one that is telling people they're going to the Hall of Fame now. I understand what you're saying, Clark. It might maybe take away the moment for the wrestler in question, but I don't think AJ would feel that way. I think that like the Undertaker is very much this highly, highly, highly respected person in the locker room. So to have him be the kind of gatekeeper of the Hall of Fame, and for him to be the one that says, right, yeah, you're in. I don't know. I think there might be something a little bit like poetic about it, because I feel like he almost had that role in the locker room, not of saying who was in the Hall of Fame, but who was like, okay, you're in. So yeah, I don't know. It is a little bit. It is a little bit like, I do get what you're saying, and it will take a little bit away from the moment. And I don't know how many more times we're going to have the moment where it's like, oh my God, because now I think from this point on, if somebody's retiring or like they're getting towards the end of their career and the gong hits, we know at that point that they're going to the Hall of Fame. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And truthfully, to your point, I'll admit this, hand up fully, right? Like, maybe it's childhood Clark that's like, I hear the gong, and I'm not thinking AJ's in the Hall of Fame. I'm thinking like it's on, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm thinking like, okay, it's here comes Taker. And I think that just still throws me for a loop, because of, I think it's a testament to how great he was his entire career, to be honest. And yeah, I'll fully admit I might be overthinking that just a bit. But Lawrence, I got to ask you about this one too, because AJ, I think we can all agree, monster deserves the Hall of Fame. But this was an interesting way to end a Monday Night Raw, wouldn't you say?
I've got a question for you, Lawrence, as well, quickly. How many inches did you jump out of your seat when it went dark and the gong hit? Because I think like it would have taken me by surprise. I reckon I would have cleared I reckon I'd have got some good airtime.
You were in the building. That's another factor.
Yeah, I was in the building, so I knew Undertaker was coming. I knew he was coming out, so I wasn't really surprised. People screamed. All I heard was scream when the gong hit. All I heard was just girls screaming, little girls screaming, men screaming, right? So it was funny, right? And yeah, I was excited, to see Taker come out. I never had the opportunity to actually see Taker wrestle, unfortunately. So, that was something I always wanted to see. But I appreciated everything that Taker brought to the business. I thought that AJ Styles, shout out to him. I mentioned this, Gainesville's like, he said it last night, an hour outside of Atlanta. So, AJ Styles, man, he had a great career. I mean, I'm just thinking back. It's just a sad moment. It's like, man, all the things that AJ's done in this industry, the amount of people that he's put on game, the classic matches and different promotions that he's had, the countless of factions. You think about the Good Brothers, you think about, everyone that he's worked with, and, also elevated, right? People, just an overall great person, right? And a great father, great husband, right? So AJ Styles is someone you look up to, even outside of the ring. And I'm really happy for AJ. I know some people trashed his retirement saying it happened so quick, but, AJ went on how he felt like he wanted to go out. You know what I mean? The same thing I said about John Cena, right? I know there was a lot of us who didn't agree with the way he went out and the tap out. But at the end of the day, that's his life, his journey. You have your opinion on your life and your journey. But these brothers, were able to curate. Yeah. And, it's gotten to the point where, hey, we're at 2025, 2026. These guys have been, appreciate the legends while you have them, because Brock Lesnar's coming up. Randy Orton to be in the next Mysterio. And then you'll really be like, damn.
Edge.
So, yeah.
Now, okay, really quick, because we have a little bit more time here. I just wanted to say this for the end, because obviously you were in the arena last night, and I did want to just address that. The vibe around AJ's retirement. What did it feel like, even whether it was your section or what was the general vibe around AJ's retirement, inside the building live?
Yeah, people were just really just clapping. They were excited to see AJ. I feel like the vibe was really just people just taking the moment in. People enjoy seeing the superstars coming on stage, showing their respect. So it was really just full of just people just paying their respects. I didn't really see anybody crying. It wasn't like, there's a difference between Cena and AJ, I think, from a fan connection level. I think Cena was a bit more connected, way more connected, to fans' feelings, right? Because Cena was the superhero, where AJ was a great Avenger. He was also good at being he was a good team player, right, on the Avenger, but he wasn't necessarily Cena was Superman. So it's if Superman goes out, you're gonna be really crying. AJ is we know AJ, he's just not fighting anymore, but he's going to train others. And that's really what's about to happen.
Yeah, I still got a feeling that we'll see him in September in AEW. I'm just telling you. There's a reason he put those gloves back on. And he'll be the
He put him
first.
down again last night, though, didn't he?
What's that?
He put him down again last night.
Yeah, whatever. We'll see. I don't know.
He
Jeez,
ain't
don't
going
ruin
to
my
AEW.
don't ruin my potential narrative. It'd be hilarious if it works out.
That'd be the worst decision he made if he go to AEW.
Wait, whoa. Why? Him and Ospreay would sell out Wembley.
Nah, because I just think
Him and
him
Swerve
going to
Strickland could sell out the Seattle.
because it goes back on what you said. You said you wanted to be a family man. It goes back on your, it goes back on what you said. You know what I mean? Like, just stay retired, bro. You know?
That's a fair point.
That's fair. Okay. With that, my friends, that will bring us to the end of the show. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. If you didn't see the message from Ben, check that out. I'm sure that will be reposted. But on behalf of me, Lawrence, and Jordy in the bank, aka Mickey's best pal, the man, the myth, the legend, all of us at WR, thank you so much. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Of course, that's noon Pacific, 3 o'clock up on the East Coast, 8 o'clock in the UK, 9 a.m. for my good friends in Hawaii. And also, if you don't have Tuesday night plans already, immediately following NXT tonight, check out Off the Air. We will talk to you soon. Release the letter B video, Ben.